All right. Hey, everybody. How's it going? All right. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about gold, silver. We might even talk a little bit about crypto if you guys want to. And we're going to talk about, is it a good time to be buying or is it a time to be selling? I think a lot of people right now are trying to figure that out. So if you have any questions for me, go ahead and put everything in caps, and I'll see it over here on the side. And I'll do my best to answer those questions for you guys. So first off, I'm tired. I don't know how long we'll go. I had an issue with one of my kiddos this morning and had to drive up to Hollywood at like 2 a.m. to help him drive a car back that got rear-ended. So that's always fun, especially when you don't know they're going up there. What are you going to do? So I'm a little bit tired. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, maybe 3 hours or something like that. So I did bring some silver. I think we'll do a little bit of silver giveaways today. We haven't done that in a while. And I'll show you guys what kind of silver I've got, and then I'll show you some other cool things. We're going to do a couple giveaways here. And hopefully OC Stacker can help me send some of this stuff out. But these are fun. These are walkers. So they're a little bit worn, guys, but it is silver. And this is what I've got right now that I can share with you guys. So I still think they're pretty cool coins. And we got a couple of these here. See that there? I still can't figure out how to do 2 cameras on this. My Mac just will not participate. It's stuck and won't do anything else. So this is the best we're going to get. This one, you've got dates on it. Looking a little bit better. There you go. Well, these are kind of fun. I picked these up at one of the Long Beach coin shows a little bit ago. So we got those. Showing you guys what we got. We got a handful of these. So we'll play some games tonight. We'll give some of this out. I couldn't find my dimes, so I guess you guys are going to get some $50. That's always kind of fun. Yeah, they're a little bit worn, but they're still fun. It's history. There you go. So I don't know how many of these we'll give out tonight, but we'll play around with it. But we got a little stack of those right there. All right, guys. So let's do this. I want to share with you some of the things that are coming up on the calendar, so you guys are aware of it. We've got. I don't know if I'm going to have the ability to do a live stream with Andy next Tuesday or not. So I got to figure that out still if we're going to do that. But if we are, I will put out the post and have everything ready so you guys see it ahead of time. And if we're not, then it'll be the following week on the 24th of this month. So that's a Monday coming up here. That'll be 2 Mondays from now. We're going to be doing the Stacking Surfer Channel 10,000K giveaway and party. And it also happens to be the exact day for my 2-year anniversary of putting my first video out. So that's going to be pretty fun too. So I'm hoping to get a handful of stackers to come and join me. I've already got a commitment from 2 big channels to come on, which will be fun. And I just got to get the details of the timing down for that. So put in the comments if there's someone you want me to reach out to have come on the channel. Let me know. And if you guys have a channel and you want to come up, let me know as well, and then I'll reach out to you guys. So today we're going to do a couple things. We're going to talk about gold and silver, what just happened to the price this week, where's it going next week, and the rest of this month. I've also got a couple boxes that I ordered from Miles Franklin, like this guy here, and we're going to open these up and see what's inside. And I'm going to tell you why I bought these and what's in there. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to wear this today. I don't know if you guys have seen my Stacking Surfer hat. So, you know, it always mirrors this thing. Let's fix this real quick. There you go. Now it's fixed. So this is how you would see me if we were talking face to face. I don't know why these things always do it. I guess it's because people can't figure out which way their head's going to go when they're watching themselves on camera. But that's why you see a lot of stuff that's backwards when people are filming, is the cameras automatically do that so that you kind of mirror yourself, I guess. That's kind of the default for people. So go ahead and hit that thumbs up if you guys haven't done that already. That's going to wake up the algorithm, get a few more people in here watching. The more thumbs up we get today, the more silver I give away. All right. Now, in addition to silver, coming up on that 10K party, we're going to have these exclusive stickers. These are the last stickers that I'm making for my channel. Mrs. Surfer has told me that I cannot just keep making stickers like crazy and hand them out all over the place, at least not for right now. So these are the last ones I've made. I think there's maybe 50 of these or so. They have kind of the colorful thing to them, and it has 10,000 on them. Okay. So these are going to be given away at the 10K party. I'm also going to be doing a Drew Brophy surfboard. I'm going to see if I can get us to get him to sign it. But also hit that subscribe and bell icon if you guys haven't done that yet. But I'm hoping to get one of those signed too. And let me see if I can find my picture on my eBay store. So let's see if we can do that. Yeah, I got it right here. Okay. Okay. So that is, why is that not in focus? There you go. We're going to be giving away one of these, 1 ounce silver. It's got colorization on the one side, and the other side it does not. And it comes in a cool little box. Drew was going to have a handful of these made, and they ended up only making this one. So there's only 3,000 in the world. And focus. And once these are all gone, you guys won't be able to get any more of these surfboards. I think it's only the second surfboard coin ever made. The first one is a longboard, which is pretty cool. All right, and then I don't think we're going to get enough people at this time of night. I was hoping to do this much earlier, but the day just got ahead of me. I've been going nonstop from thing to thing, and I still have a ton of work to do tomorrow for my day job. But the other thing I'm going to be doing for the 10K party is giving out these massive magnets. Okay, these are the biggest magnets in the industry. No one else has a magnet like this with a stacking channel. I guarantee that, except for Yankee, because I made him some. But we're going to be doing these. These will be fun. These are exclusive. I'm not making any more of these. They're not inexpensive to make, but they're also not crazy expensive. But if we were to get to 100 likes tonight, I'll give one of these away. I don't know that we're going to get to that big, but if we do, I'll do one of these. Otherwise, these will be on the party giveaways. And then we're going to do the unboxing too. Okay. So go ahead and put down any comments you guys have. Let me just welcome everybody in here. We've got Daniel Casey, welcome, and Michael Porter. And we've got OC Stacker, and we've got Rick Roche in here. And we've got the Broke Stacker, Annie Oakley, Water the Possibilities, Frank Mounds, the Humble Stacker. So he's saying buy it. Do I ever come by Idaho? I go up to Utah a lot, northern Utah, so not too far from Idaho. Might be able to figure something out. Say Ray 316. Glad my kid is okay. I know. I get a call at 2 in the morning. He's been rear-ended and he's not feeling well enough to drive. That kind of freaks you out a little bit. And the car is not destroyed. The bumper has like 2 massive holes going through it. So I don't know what he got rammed by, but it had spikes and it messed up the bumper a little bit. Probably have to replace that. The rest of the car is fine and he seems to be okay, but you know, his neck was hurting a little bit. We've also got in here, we've got Born Hunting. So if you guys haven't seen the video I did with him, we did a little bit of metal detecting at the beach, I guess is what you would call it. So we got that. Let's see. Who else is in here I need to call out? We got Beto in here. We've got the Crafty Stacker. Michelangelo's in here too, 420. PMG Silver Stacks. Yeah, I am tired. I'm not getting very much sleep. I've had a very big client. So what I do for my day job is I'm in the channel, so I help the company I work for that sells software. I help my teams that sell to specific clients, and then we have companies like Accenture, Deloitte, EY, and then smaller companies that install the software. And so what's kind of crazy is we'll sell someone a $10 million piece of software per year that they're going to use for their company, and they'll often pay 30 to 40 to 50 million dollars just to install the software and to manage it over about a 3-year period of time. So huge money that's involved in these things. And one of the clients, and I usually don't go down to the client side, but I've had to do that the last 5 months. So I've basically been burning the midnight oil, working overtime. Unfortunately, I don't get paid for that, but it's how some of these jobs go, and I'm lucky to have a job. But I've been putting in a crazy amount of hours with that. And so, yeah, I've been pretty worn out recently. It's also the reason I haven't been able to do as many videos. We're doing more live streams, which doesn't really grow your channel. I don't know why, but usually on live streams, no one hits the subscribe button. They usually just do that on 8-minute videos. I just haven't had a lot of time to get those out. And you would think it's an 8-minute video, that's faster. Takes hours to do an 8-minute video. So it takes a couple hours to figure out what you're gonna say, what's going to be on there, and then you've got to film it, which ends up being about a half an hour, and then you got to cut it down to 8 minutes, and then you got to do all the tagging and everything. So it usually takes about 3 to 5 hours just to do an 8-minute video. Live stream takes maybe an hour, hour and a half. So if you guys are new and you have not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe and the bell icon. We're going to give some silver away. Depending on how many likes we get, we'll do one of these or all of them. We'll see how we go here and how long I can stay awake. All right, let's see who else we got in here. All right, we got a quick question here from Ted. I've heard of some sellers of silver having trouble getting their local shops to buy due to shops being low on cash. If prices keep increasing, do you foresee selling being a problem? I don't think selling is going to be a problem for LCSs that understand how to run their business. And what do I mean by that? A lot of LCSs are really just small shops. It's 1 or 2 people. They may not be business people. They may be coin enthusiasts. So they may not know how to fully run a business. And they may not have fully stocked their business with enough cash or enough metals. And they may not have the relationships they need with wholesalers and smelters. The ones that do can usually buy anything you have. They're just going to continue to lower the offer. So if you're starting to see people go way back behind, like 5% below spot or lower than that, lower than that, so 6, 7, 8% behind spot, you're starting to see someone that doesn't have the cash very much, and they're going and selling whatever you sell to them, and they're having to, basically go be below spot on that too. So, my take on it is if you're finding that they're running out of cash, I would look for someone else. You've got online bullion dealers. You can call Andy Scheckman anytime. Just send him an email, info@milesfranklin.com, and then let him know in the subject as well as in the body that Stacking Surfer sent you. And you can tell them exactly how much silver or gold you want to sell, and they'll buy it. And he's got the ability to move a large amount of metals, sell them to you as well as buy them back. So from that standpoint, I wouldn't worry too much about running into a situation where you're not going to be able to sell your silver and you're going to be stuck. Local shops can get stuck easier than national type stores or online stores. But usually it's a crunch time when that's coming into play. They've maybe gone through their cash and they just need a couple days to go and unload it. Depending on the store and how they're buying it, they could get themselves into trouble if you start to see the price go down. But I really haven't seen too many issues with that. All right, we've got 888 the Great, formerly Nickel Stacking. And Nickel likes to change his name a lot. That's what I know. We got the Humble Stacker in here. All right, who else we got? Joseph Lopez, welcome. Mr. Reluctant Stacker 69, okay. Big test unit. Sometimes I've got to think through what your guys' names are. So the board that the board coin, the surfboard coin that is Drew Brophy's, is a short board. But there's another coin that I'll show you guys that I actually have. It's just it's buried. I can't get to it. And it's actually not quite as cool, but it is also silver. I want to say it's 2 ounces. Let me see if I can find it for you guys real quick. Okay, here we go. So this is the other coin that you might be able to see on eBay. It's trying really hard to focus on my face. Let's see if it can do this. I don't know. For being someone that's pretty techy, I have not been impressed with StreamYard. It's what everybody uses, so I kind of use it, but it's not the best software. There's better stuff on the Mac. Maybe we'll have to move over to that. Let's see. There you go. That's the best it's going to get. It looks like it's Perth Mint, and it's a long board, and it is 2 ounces. So that's the only one. The only other one I've seen kind of looks like that too. So it's cool. I think Drew's coin's actually even cooler looking than that, though. All right, let me see what else we got in here. Gerald Draper, welcome. We've got Captain Stacks. Howdy, how's it going? All right, let me see who else we got in here. MP68, welcome. Redneck Coins. That's pretty cool. I'm guessing you don't live in the city. All right, here's the question. Is gold and silver going to be down on Monday? It's always a hard question to answer. I've been hearing a lot about how much shorts have been put onto silver. And if silver is going above 33, it's going to be putting too much pressure on them that they're going to have to start doubling down or, coughing up silver. So I'm not exactly sure how fast that's going to happen. I haven't had time to really do all the research on it. But I will tell you that typically Sunday and Monday, we see the prices go down a little bit. But things are starting to change here. I think with the lack of any super positive information or news about cryptos, we're seeing the cryptos going down. We're seeing a lot of people freaking out about that and selling off a lot of cryptos because a lot of people got into them kind of at the top here a month or two ago. And I think they're having some buyer's remorse on that. Reality is if you have that stuff, I think we're going to see some better days still here in the next couple weeks to months. But I think a lot of people are selling that, and we're starting to see more movement going into gold and silver. We're also seeing a lot of sell off of the equities or the stock market, and so you're starting to see some more movement into gold and silver. So could we see it go down? Yeah, we could. We could see it go down on Monday, and we could see it go down on Sunday, but I don't think it's going to go down a whole lot. Every time we see a little bit of a pullback, there just is not, it isn't sustained. It keeps driving up. So I'll look and see if I can find a chart that I can show you guys on the screen in a minute, but let's just look at what gold did today. So for those of you that haven't looked, gold went over 3,000 today. So that it's hit its all-time high. It got close to, I think, about $3,003.50. So it has hit that, and it closed for a week. Okay. And then we just had silver hit. It got up to about $34.05 today, and it closed for the week at $33.38. What you want to watch is where it closes at the end of the month. So at the end of March, if you want prices to go up, you want to see gold go above 3,000 and close on the last day of March. Last business day, last Friday. You also want to see silver up above $35. Okay, if we see those two numbers, things are going to continue to just be moving up. But let's just look at gold here for a second, and we're going to pull back on the chart for 60 days. That does not look like a chart that keeps correcting to me. There's a couple little dips that happen, and as soon as that dip happens, it jumps back up. So that's gold. And I'm going to show you silver. Same thing, 60 days. Same thing. We're not really seeing big pullbacks, okay, guys? So if you're Captain Stacks, if you're asking this question to figure out if you should hold money back and wait for a big dip to buy, in my opinion, I'm not doing that. I'm going to show you guys what I just bought. I've got this box and I've got another bigger box. And I could be waiting longer, and I'm not. And the reason I'm not doing that is I think gold and silver are getting close to a capital rotation to where not industrial, institutional money is going to really start moving in that direction. And I think there is going to be a day that silver is going to melt the faces of the crypto guys that really go heavy into crypto. I think it's going to be huge. And I think we're going to see massive returns. Now, I wouldn't go buy the stuff for massive returns. If you're buying gold and silver for massive returns and you're buying the physical coins, you're doing this whole thing wrong. Okay. Don't do that. There's much more liquid things than buying gold and silver coins that if you're trying to get rich off of it. Okay. And if you're trying to get rich off of it, you're probably going to lose a lot of money. Most people that do that make a lot of money and they lose a lot of money very quickly. So be careful with that. But my answer to you on this would be, I do think it's going to go down maybe a little bit, but not much. I think it's going to be hard to see silver go below 33 starting off next week. And I think it's going to be really hard to see gold go down below 2,950 bucks. I just don't think it's going to dip down too much. I think we're going to see it go up a little higher before it comes back down. But things can change. We could have new news come out that says that we've got a strategic reserve for a different cryptocurrency than just Bitcoin. And that could throw a bunch of money that direction. Something interesting that I'm finding is, I would say it's probably close to 60 to 70% of the people I'm talking to that are gold and silver stackers are buying crypto right now. I think that's interesting. You guys go ahead and put a 1 in the chat if you own crypto, okay? Even if you just bought some today and you bought $1 worth. If you own any crypto, put a 1 in there. Put a 0 if you don't own any crypto, okay? I just want to see what you guys are saying on there. But I'm finding a ton of people are doing that. So we've got Thule in the house. Welcome, Thule. Good to have you in. Junior Van Gundy, 65. Let's see. Let's see what else we got in here from you guys. So P. Clark, it's been a long time, man, since we've chatted too, for sure. All right, so we are going to do some silver giveaways in a little bit here, and we're I don't have any other stickers nearby. It's all packed away, but we will on the 24th. So just another reminder, as you guys are on here on the 24th, we're going to be doing the 10,000 subscriber party. I'll be giving all these away. These are all going out that night. Okay, we're going to have a couple big channels visiting the channel. And if you guys have any interest in joining, if you've got a channel and you want to come up during that time, let me know. If we can get to 1,000 thumbs up on that night, I will do some kind of crazy giveaway. I need to run that past my wife first, but we will do a crazy giveaway. I've never had that many thumbs up, but if we can get that, we're gonna go crazy on some fun stuff. But that's coming up on the 24th. It's already, if you go to the live section on my channel, you'll be able to see that. If you have not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe and bell icon. But there'll be gold giveaways and silver giveaways, okay, on that night. So anyway, you got to come for that. And depending on how many thumbs up we get, how many people are viewing, the more people, the bigger the party, the more the fun, the more stuff I'm going to be handing out to you guys. We got 210 stacks here as well. All right, we're going to try to get down to your questions here real quick, or at least recent stuff, guys. Hit the click bottom. I know, I'm reading this stuff, though. We're getting there. And this is true, to go back to what we were saying earlier. It seems at the end of the month that they hammer the prices down. They have to, because that's when a lot of the calls come, right? Or I should say the options expire. So when options go to expire for the banks, like JP Morgan Chase, I think is shorting something like $500 billion of silver. If they get close to the end of the month and their options are expiring, they have to either pay more money to push them out further, deliver the silver, okay, or basically buy silver at a much higher price and sell it at a lower price, or they have to put so much pressure on it by buying more shorts, basically like a day before or on that day, to get all of you to freak out and still start selling your stuff. There will be a silver squeeze if you don't sell your silver. Okay, if no one in the community were to sell their silver, they would run out of it. They're already in a 4-year deficit right now from what's mined to what the demand is. So someone is selling silver at these low prices, and that's what's happening. Or else there wouldn't be any silver for these guys to pay off. All right, let's see here. Yes, crypto alt season. So that's starting up here. We've got Sean's precious bullion. I hope you're feeling better. Type A flu. That's good. That can get pretty nasty. So gold 3,200 because of tariffs, maybe a little bit, but I don't think it's about tariffs right now. I think it's about stability, and I think it's about the concern of what's going to happen. All this uncertainty that's going on in the world right now with Ukraine. In Russia, there's a lot of uncertainty around the tariffs is another one. There's a lot of uncertainty around auditing the Fed, auditing the Fort Knox facility, and there's also all this conversation around cryptos, what's going to happen. So we can see that. Now, Ideal Metals saying end of year, gold 3,300, silver 4,500. I will be surprised if we don't blow those numbers away personally. I think we can see a $4,000 to $5,000 gold by the end of the year. And I think we can see a $50 to $100 silver. Now, am I saying that those are my numbers and I'm calling that? No, I'm not saying that. But if we have a Federal Reserve that lowers interest rates several times this year, if we've got stimulus payments that come out from all the Doge activity, right? If we have a revaluation of gold going from $42.22 up to, say, $3,000 or even higher, maybe $5,000 or $10,000, all these things have been floated out there. I think we're going to see those metal prices go significantly higher. Now, I can't give you financial advice, but I wouldn't go out and buy gold and silver because you think it's going to go to 3,300 to 4,000 to 5,000. In my opinion, you don't buy gold and silver to try to, as an investment, to try to make a bunch of money. I can give you 1,000 better investments than these that are out there that are going to be pretty safe too. In my opinion, you buy gold as wealth insurance. So I like to buy 1 ounce of gold for every $50,000 of net worth I have. And then I like to take silver and get several $100s face of this stuff, guys. Okay, constitutional silver. I like to go get that for my family for potential bartering. It's also, at least right now, a decent price for silver. And then I will buy some bars, and I'll buy eagles, and I'll buy other coins. Some of them are fun to collect, and others I'm just buying for weight to hold on to. And a good chunk of that I'm hoping to just pass on to my kids and never have to use it. But some of it I'm planning on selling. I do believe we're going to go into a capital rotation. I do think we're going to see gold go a lot higher between now and in 2030. And what I mean by that is I think it's going to double, and I think it's going to double again. So I do buy some gold as an investment, but I don't go put all my money in that. I have a lot of other kinds of investments that I do too. All right, let's see who else we got in here. JK636, SJ7754. So he's our first one. Okay. So we got a handful of guys here and gals that do have some crypto. And what I think's interesting about that is, in a lot of ways, it sounds like taboo when we're talking about gold and silver stacking to have any crypto, but I find that a lot of people do have it. And we got a couple that don't. And it's okay if you guys don't have it either. Okay. But we got a lot of you that have it and a few of you that don't. So there's actually more of you that have it than don't. So that's interesting. All right, let's see. So I've had to do this many times. I've actually had to drain my 401k multiple times in my retirement. I don't have much retirement because I've had to drain it several times, and it's too bad because I had a decent amount of it back in 2003. But big things happen, family issues happen, and you know, you may not want to go into massive amounts of debt, or you may not be able to go into massive amounts of debt. I've had periods of time where I didn't have a job for 3 years, and as an entrepreneur, kind of creating my own way during a real estate crash, when your business is real estate, it can be very tough. A lot of people made crazy amounts of money doing real estate after 2010 or so, but these are people that their credit was completely intact. They didn't have a whole lot to lose, and so they got super creative with things, and they maybe didn't have as many mouths to feed. But if you were in real estate and all of your real estate crashes, that's a whole different thing. And anybody that sold all their real estate ahead of time, either sold it really early, like in 2005, 2006, before it hit its top at 2007. They're either lying to you, or they got scared and got out of it for whatever reason. But anybody that was really investing in that took pretty good hits. There was no real indicator that it was going to crash when it did, because otherwise it wouldn't be a black swan. And that one was a black swan. All right, so stacking surfer need to sell some PMs, medical bills, or could pay some fiat. That is interest. Your thoughts? So look, I have different stacks. So I haven't made the video on it, but it is right recently. I did have one of my first videos where I talk about being a hedge stacker. So if you go to Yankee Stacking's channel, he'll talk to you about being a prepper stacker. I'm not a prepper stacker. I have a lot of crap that's cool. That is not going to be a good thing to have for a prepping stacking situation. I am not stacking gold and silver because I think we're going to have an EMP. All the lights are going to go out, and I'm going to have to pull these out just to buy bread and food. I do have some in case I'm wrong and in case that situation happens. So I do have some constitutional silver, but I can tell you that if the lights go out and we get ourselves into a situation where we don't have electricity for a long period of time, only 10% of us are going to survive that kind of a scenario, and no one's going to want this stuff. They want seeds, they want bullets, they're going to want food and other supplies. Silver is not even going to be used as money for probably a long time, maybe even a couple of years. So I don't go and just stack all my silver because I think it's the end of the world. But I do have a prepping stack. Okay, I've also got an investing stack. I've got a stack of collectibles that I can take to a coin show and sell and make a good margin on them. I've also got fun stuff that I just don't want to sell. I found it and I think it's really cool, like my 12-ounce solid golf ball that Silver Dragon's poured. I think he's only done a couple of those, less than 5. And I got one of them. That's kind of cool. And we're going to take that golfing here pretty soon, by the way. So that'll be pretty cool. So I think it's fine. I have a stack that I do that with. But I think you got to be careful on what you buy. And you've got to buy with that reason of it being savings, so that when you sell it, you don't take a massive hit. So for me, if I were to do this, it's not going to be silver, it's going to be gold. And the reason for that is gold is much more stable in price. It has much smaller premiums. And if you buy it right, you can get it at 2 to 3% premiums, or you might be able to get it below spot. And so if you're able to do that, being able to sell gold a few months down the road isn't as, it's not going to hurt you as much. And if you look at the gold prices over the last 4 years, and you bought it 4 years ago, you're going to be okay selling some of it if you need to. Silver kind of depends. You may have been buying silver at, $33, $34. Or if you got caught in it 2 summers ago when the Eagles were going for like $42 and you bought a bunch at that point, you might be stuck and it could be a lot more painful. So the answer is it kind of depends on what you have, and it depends on, the situation with what you paid for it and what you can sell it for. So, I wouldn't personally sell precious metals if I'm going to take a big hit on them, but that's kind of me. I can go put all my cash into the bank and make a 4% return, but I can tell you most of my gold and silver I've purchased, I've made a way bigger return than 4%. So I don't really see a huge need to do, CDs and stuff like that personally. All right, let's see what we got here for you guys. Oh, what time am I doing it? So that's still kind of up in the air on the 24th. It depends on some of the guests that are coming in, but I have it labeled right now from 5 until 8 o'clock Eastern, or 2 to 5 on Pacific time on Monday the 24th. But it's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of guests. I'm not going to be up here by myself, just talking, but that's kind of, we're going to have a lot of fun that day. How much constitutional silver should you stack? It's a hard question to answer. If you are concerned that we could have an SHTF type situation where you might be using silver, my recommendation would be to get $100 to $200 face per person in your house. That's what I've done. Now, that doesn't mean I stopped buying it, but that was my first goal was 100. Then I moved to 200, and now I'm still adding it when I can. I was able to pick up a bag of about $75 face at the Long Beach Coin Show, and we bought it at I want to say 4% below spot price. So I think we picked it up at $20.50 per face. I'm going to buy that, and I'm going to hold on to that, and that goes in my deep stack. But if the time comes up where constitutional silver is going for a much higher premium than Eagles are, I'll probably take some of that and sell it. There's a reason it's called junk. For a long time, people didn't want it. They saw it as just 90% silver. It's not pure. Let's get rid of it. And it goes in cycles, and it moves up and down on things too. So how much should someone stack it? It's very volunteer. How much food storage should you have? I would say if you have zero food storage and you have $1,000 face silver per person, you did it wrong, because you can't eat the silver. So, before I go and get more than $100 face value of silver, constitutional silver, as an emergency SHTF for my family, I'm going to go get 6 months to a year's worth of freeze-dried food storage, or I'm going to make my own stuff. And I need to get that video out. I made it like 3 years ago, and I just haven't put it out yet. But I need to get that out for you guys to see how to make it. It's very easy to make 30-year food storage from Costco. All right, let's see what else you guys have in here real quick. And then we're going to start opening these boxes. So I've started buying some of the miners. I've been waiting for a long time. I kept getting burned, and I would sell it, and then I would buy physical. If I held in there a little bit, I'd have some of these stocks would already be about 20% up from a few years ago. But the mining stock is only for those of you that have the fortitude for it. They're all over the place, and they don't follow the spot price. There's no rhyme or reason to why the mining stocks go up or down. It's kind of crazy. I would do that. This is probably your most important thing, way more important than precious metals, by the way. All right, let's see. So that's interesting. I think you'll see more of that. All right, let's see what we got here. Freedom Fridays. Yep, Freedom Fridays, guys. All right. So there's a lot of different reasons and things that can happen here. So Harry's going to know the market a little bit better than I do, because that's his job. That's what he does full time. For me, this is something that I try to squeeze as much information into my head as fast as I can with the short time I have. There's psychological things that can happen in the market that push us all into different directions and push us into making decisions. So one of those is $3,000. I have a hard time buying gold above $3,000 because psychologically it seems super expensive to me when I started buying gold at $1,700. And I thought that was expensive. And I go look at the charts, and when the year 2000, you could buy gold for under $300. And if you had done that, you would have so much more value today than if you just held on to those dollars. So I know a lot of us talk about, not so much me, but a lot of other channels will talk about, if gold goes to $10,000, then you're going to be paying, $1,000 for, for a t-shirt or something like that. The price of gold is not just an indicator of inflation. It doesn't just go up at the same rate. It outpaces it. And it can do it much faster when there's a time of uncertainty where people are worried about what's happening to the dollar. So I would say that $3,000 and $3,000 gold and $35 silver are psychological levels that once we break those, okay, and we close, we just touched it. We didn't close at 3,000. So technically we really didn't hit 3,000. We touched it, we kissed it, right? So I need to see a week close above 3,000. I need to see a month close above 3,000. If we see those two things happen, then we're starting to establish 3,000 as a new bottom. Okay. When that happens psychologically, I do think it's going to start to drive people that are already stacking to hold back a little bit. But for a lot of other people, there's going to be conversations about, wow, it's going above 3,000. Once you get to 3,050 and you're getting close to 3,100, you're going to start to see more TV commercials. A lot of them are kind of crappy, scammy stuff. You know, they're selling you metals, but they're selling you stuff that you shouldn't buy. It's like super expensive and it's not even that rare. But you're going to start to see things like the news talking a little bit more about it. You're going to hear more about a Fort Knox audit. You're going to hear more about gold revaluation. And when all of those things happen, it gets the public thinking a little bit more and they start freaking out about some of this stuff. And that's what you need, is more retail people coming in to really push the price up. Could it go all the way up to $3,500 once it passes 3,000? Yeah, I think it's going to do that. I think we could see, like I mentioned earlier, 4,000, maybe even $5,000 gold. It just depends on some of the scenarios that happen this year. You know, I don't think it's going to be that hard. Now, it goes the opposite direction. Let's say we start having conditions that look like 1929, so right before the Great Depression. We could really start to see the prices of Bitcoin drop and cryptos drop. If we don't get a lot of good news about what's happening with cryptos and the federal government, we could see things start to go, south, as well as a lot of companies are coming out with their earnings, including the company I work with recently, where our earnings were good, but our projections for what this year is going to do were lower than what was expected. And all of a sudden the stock drops massively. We could see a lot of that stuff starting to cascade, and as prices go down, you start to have what are margin calls, because a lot of people doing stocks and crypto leverage themselves very heavily. Don't go borrow to buy this stuff. This is money. It's not worth going into debt over it. That could start to cascade things down. It could start to bring gold and silver prices down. So I can also tell you that if we see silver go below $20 again, and you see gold go below 2,500, psychologically, a lot of us are going to start freaking out that maybe it's going to go a lot lower, and maybe we should start selling some of it. So if you have those thoughts of, I need to hurry and buy more because it's going up, or I need to sell a bunch of it because I'm afraid it's going to go down, you're probably not buying it with the right spirit and attitude, in my opinion. And you're probably also getting yourself into a situation where you're contemplating if you should put the money in that direction in the first place. So I think that's one thing to be very, very careful about, is don't get yourself in a situation where you're leveraging yourself with the precious metals. Just be careful with that. All right, so that's that. Okay, we got a super chat here. We got to check out what this is. Let's see. Great start for the weekend. So this is from MP68. So thank you for supporting the channel. Good to see everybody. Save all you can, hit the like buttons. Thank you so much. And it is important, you guys, to hit that like button. Otherwise, YouTube doesn't know that that anything's really going on here. Okay, so here's another cool one. Would you trade 35 ounces of silver for half an ounce of gold? I have the opportunity to do that on Sunday. Well, let's look at the ratios real quick, okay, guys? So the gold to silver ratio right now is trading at 88.40. Okay, it got all the way up to like 92 a couple of weeks ago. So if you look at that, technically speaking, right now, if you go to an online bullion dealer, roughly you're going to spend the same amount of money for 88 ounces of silver as you would for 1 ounce of gold. So if you've got 35 ounces of silver, which is going to be about 70 ounces of silver, if it was a full ounce, right? Would you trade for that opportunity? So, what I would say is I don't know. If it was for 88 and it was looking at that ratio, I think that's probably a much better deal for you. However, it really depends, right? Let's see, you have the silver. So if you have the silver and you're trading 70 ounces of silver for half an ounce of gold, yeah, I think that's a pretty good deal right now. Now, it also depends on how much gold you have. It depends on how much silver you have. So if you've got no gold at all, I would think that's a pretty good deal. If you have a lot of gold and you don't have very much silver, I probably would be a little bit hesitant on it. You also have to remember when we're looking at those ratios, that doesn't include any kind of premium. So if it's a good friend and you're just swapping things, you would probably swap it just that ratio. And if you've got the silver and you can do fewer pieces of silver for the same amount of gold, yeah, it's a good deal. It'll end up flipping the opposite direction too at some point. We're just not there yet. Okay. So here you go. Look at this. Alan Satoshi Greenspan, 6K for golds and $90 for silver by Christmas. That's actually not that crazy, even though it might feel crazy. We have a lot of crazy things that are going to happen this year. I'm not as worried about the tariffs, and I'll tell you a couple things on the tariffs here. So number one, we used to function off of tariffs. We didn't have income tax before 1913, okay? And that's what the country used. We also didn't have a federal government that's bloated and huge, right? We didn't have all these organizations that weren't voted on, that are run by the presidential cabinet, that sit there and never get taken out with each president that comes in. A lot of these people that are freaking out are people that have basically had really cushy jobs, getting paid way more than what you'd get paid in a commercial role for doing the same kind of thing. And they've been making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in a lot of these cases, and they've just been kind of moving stuff around, or there's been a lot of fraud that's been committed. I'm not saying every government position is fraudulent or creates all these problems, but you get into a situation like that where it becomes unaccountable, it grows legs, and it goes in all different kinds of directions. And so, with that said, the tariffs used to fund the government. If we're going to go back to a standard where President Trump is talking about it, where we get rid of income tax completely, in order to keep things running, you're going to have to shrink the government. You're going to have less or fewer things be taken care of by the government. More of it's going to have to be taken care of by private companies. So it doesn't necessarily mean that everything that you buy is going to become less expensive or more expensive. Things are just going to shift to who you're paying for it. But if we do have the tariffs come in and they stay with all the different countries that we're looking at, I think you're going to see a couple things. I think you're going to see President Trump negotiate. So I think you're going to see, instead of a flat percentage across the board, I think you're going to see some of these countries give in because they want to sell to the U.S. And I think they'll keep paying them. And they may have to lower the price of their goods coming to us so that tariff price is more competitive. So let's say Germany gets a 25% tariff and Japan does, and their cars are not made here, they're made in their countries. They won't be able to sell a single car here anymore, at least not to anybody that cares about money, because their cars are going to be 25% more expensive than the American cars. Now, if they can lower down the cost of their cars and how much money and profits they're making off of that, they may be able to still sell them here. And then they may do the same thing, reciprocate, or they may come back and say, hey, let's negotiate this, and instead of a 25% tariff, let's do a 10%. So when it comes to gold and silver, it's really going to depend on what happens here. We don't know all the details yet in where things are going to go, but we get most of our silver from outside of the US. And so if we do tariff silver heavily and they don't negotiate that down, we could see the price of silver go up, and same with gold. We could see the raw material costs go up. So that doesn't mean the spot price is going to go up, by the way, guys. It just means that the premiums in what you pay in the United States are going to go up. So that may become the kind of thing where you want to go to Canada to go buy some coins because they'll be cheaper there, or into Mexico and try to bring them across the border if you can. And I don't know if you get in big trouble for doing that or not, but do some research before you do something like that. At some point, yes. I don't know how fast though, Gerald. So when they go to bring in the CBDC or the stable coin or the digital dollar, whatever they're going to call it, they'll most likely use a carrot first to get people in. So some of that stuff's going to happen. Welcome, Jake's Custom Parts is in the house. Look at that right there. All right, so let's see what Desert Stacking Silver says. Some of the banks that have been shorting silver for all these years are using their way out. Could be a moonshot. Yeah, totally. So, you know, it's interesting. I've heard a thought from a few different people reading from the Bible, and I don't know where the verse is. Maybe you guys do, but it talks about the wealth of the let's see, the wealth of the righteous is I'm forgetting it now. Shoot. The wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous. I think that's how it goes. And the concept there is that, at least the way I've seen a lot of people talking about it, is that we're going to have a day where the banks, being the sinner, so to speak, are going to lose their silver to the retail people. Okay, the other ones that are out there. I don't know how that's all going to go down, but I can tell you that the way the banks are playing this, they're playing with fire, because at some point there will be a silver squeeze, for example, and it's going to get out of hand. You know, we're close to 400 ounces of fake silver for every 1 ounce of real silver. That's just got problems written all over it. When it does break, it will moonshot. It'll be crazy. All right. I think I've seen them, but I'd have to see a picture to make sure we're looking at the same stuff. All right. Yeah, I've already written off my 401k at this point anyway. I do have a little bit of one right now, and it's invested in some international stocks, some of the stocks we have here in the US, but my company really only gives me an option to either have it in a money market or to have tech stocks. Tech stocks are going to be the ones that get hit first. So I'm not even sure what to do with that. That's something that may just kind of fall apart. So moving crypto into silver and gold, yeah, I think that's always a good move. You know, I've heard of several, well, not several, but a couple stacking channels where a lot of their gold that they have came from crypto. So when you look at that, one of the things that I would say is it's very important to realize why you're making a move, and then be happy with the decision you make. Okay. So, you know, if you had Bitcoin and you bought it at 10,000 and it gets up to, say, 70,000, and you sell it and you move it into precious metals, I would not freak out over the price going up to 100,000. You've made your decision, you made it for a certain reason, and it's better to be safe than sorry, so to speak. Any crypto stuff that I do is mostly to give me the ability to buy more gold and silver. And the other reason I do it too is because I believe that there's certain cryptos that are basically like startup companies, and they have a purpose and they're going to serve a purpose. I come from a big financial and banking background, and I look at several of these cryptos that are actually going to be replacing systems we have in place today. And when that happens, I see these happen. I see that happening. Now, what always gets tricky with the crypto stuff is, what's the real price really worth? That's always hard. You know, Bitcoin may be a store of value for a lot of people and they call it digital gold, but should it be 100,000, a million, you know, $10? It's hard to say. All right. So we just got a shout out from the man himself, Andy Scheckman. Keep up the great work, bro. Thanks for the, thank you. Let left me be a smart part of your community. So you might have been doing some speech to text on that one, Andy, but thank you very much for the big shout out. I appreciate it. So now that he did that, I guess we need to open some of these, right? We need to look at this. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to skip ahead, guys. If I miss your question, go ahead and feel free to put it back in again. But I do want to see the comments down below here. So let's do this. I want to see what you guys are guessing what's in here. Okay. I want everybody to take a guess. And we're going to do a silver giveaway in just a second here, but I want to see if you guys can guess what's in this box. So first off, what I want to tell you about Miles Franklin is this. This box is basically coming from Jim Kirk, Dakota Iron Castings. Okay. We can see it totally straight there, but that is not something that the mailman, the postman, or someone that's in the system, or someone that might see it on your porch is going to think is precious metals. That's what's awesome about it. But look at this. I mean, there's no way for me to like get a finger in here and figure out how to rip this stuff. I mean, it is packaged tight. All right, so let's do this. Empty monster box plus ASE tubes. Okay. So let's see what we got in here. All right, so this one right here, this is the first box we're doing. Okay. I want to see what you guys, whoever comes closest to it's going to get a silver giveaway. Okay. So you got to be as specific as possible. Just saying that it's a, you know, gold or silver is a little too easy. I want to see if anybody can guess what's actually in here. So do we have bars, coins, or rounds? How many do we have? Are they gold or silver? I want to see what you guys think. All right, let's open this thing. Okay, so far so good. There we go. It's hard to open. Can I guess? All right, guys. So look at this. I mean, seriously, nothing is moving around in there. Look at that. All right. So we are going to do this real quick as we're talking too. So I'll put that information for you guys to be able to reach out to Andy too. So, all right, here we go. It is in here tight. Okay. It's a box inside a box. Look at that. So it's getting smaller. You guys have to keep guessing. All right. So look at that. That is tight. That's tight. I think Andy gets the prize for packaging this stuff better than I do. All right. So I've got another box here. We've got this mystery box. Okay. Now it's a little smaller. So what's nice about this is there was no way this was going to get banged up or damaged. The corners are perfect on it too, right? Okay. So this will be fun. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yes, this does take some time. You're going to need a straight blade to do this. My pocket knife isn't going to be able to pull it off. Russian doll of boxes. Now, here's what would be funny. What if it's just 1 ounce of silver and this is how tight they package it? I would get a kick out of that. All right. Man, this is tight. Okay. I'm going to just have to break part of this box, guys, because this thing is really tight in here. And I'm probably opening it from the wrong side. Okay. So there's boxes inside the boxes. All right. Maybe you guys can kind of start to get a hint a little bit here what might be in here. All right. Let's see. Are you guys guessing this? I don't know. Let's see if you guys are starting to guess this stuff. It's definitely well packed. Andy wants to guess. Andy, do you remember what I ordered? That's the real question. All right, let's see what we got here. The other question is, why was I so surprised when I got home from a trip and there were boxes here? That's the real question. Oh my goodness, we got a lot of stuff in here. What did I order? Okay, so this was also very well packaged. Nothing's moving around in here, guys. And one of the reasons I'm going to tell you why that is so important is you don't want rattling going on. You know, it can get hard if you've got a coin in a capsule that's not super tight. Sometimes that happens when you get it from the mint, for example. If it starts rattling around, you're going to have an issue. So first off, I have a very good little, I will not show you guys the invoice, but an invoice did come with it. So I know what I purchased. Okay, so we got some cool stuff in here. All right. This is what came, okay? This is packaged tight. So I'm gonna have to rip into this. All right, here we go. So we got people looking at 10 rounds of silver. Okay. We've got dimes. All right. So silver surfboards in here. These are all the guesses. Silver maples. All right. We got a lot of guesses. Lady Liberty bars. Cowboy coins. Okay. We got a ton of these in here. You guys are still guessing a bunch of stuff too. All right. So I'm going to need help from my mods to figure out who we're going to give the silver to in a second. But all right. I'm still unpacking these. Okay. Here we go. So this is what we've got, guys. You guys know what these are. It's not a maple. So we got some beautiful coins here. These aren't 1/10 maples. Guys, come on. We got eagles. So this is cool. When I ordered these, I'm going to pull it all open and then I'll show you guys what I got here. So when I ordered these, I didn't exactly know how they would come out, and in exactly what form would be here. And I'm getting some pretty cool stuff here, actually. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what I have in here. But let me pull them all out real quick. So OC Stacker. All right, Andy's going to double our giveaway. I think it sounds good. Okay, so I got some fun stuff in here. Okay, I'm going to pull them all apart so you guys can see them real quick, and then I'm going to tell you why I've done what I've done and exactly what it is. But I got to finish opening this. Okay, so Andy, what I'm going to be doing here in our giveaway is I've got close to an ounce of silver. These are walkers. We're going to be giving these away. We got a handful of them right here. So let's see how many we do here. So you guys hit that thumbs up right now for us. Wake up that algorithm. I'm going to finish opening this, and then we're going to do our giveaway. All right, so I've got a guess here that these are 10th ounce buttes, or are these quarter ounces? All right, so I'm going to show you guys too. So let me know in the comments here. Put a 1 in if you guys like back dates. Put a 2 in if you like current year. I'm always curious to see what you guys say. All right. So we got some backdated guys in here. And the other question I have for you guys is the second question to answer here is, are backdates more expensive than current year? So if you think backdates are more expensive to buy, put a 3 in. If you think current year is more expensive to buy, put a 4 in. There's not necessarily a right answer to it. I just want to see what you guys think. Oh my goodness. We're going to make like a tower here in just a second. This is awesome. Okay. I'm almost done. Andy, this was packaged really well, actually. Okay, this is really cool too. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys what we got here real quick. And I want to see what you guys think, okay? And then we're going to do our first silver giveaway in here in just a second. Okay, so here's the first piece that came in. All right. That is awesome. You can see the eagle. So these are all backdated. These are type 1s. Okay. And then I'm going to stack it on the computer in front of the monitor, in front of the camera here, so you can actually see the stack starting to grow. I got a second one. All right. That's pretty darn cool. Okay. Then I got to try to do this without it falling all over the place. I got a stack of these. Okay. Let's see. It's going to start stacking up so that you guys can see it. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I'm level enough. Oh, this might end horribly. Okay, so I've got a stack here. It's starting to come up where the camera is. Oh my gosh. Let's see if you guys can see this. And then I got a stack of these on top too. And then we had some of them come in this way here. So I've got a 1995 right here. All right. Oh, I don't think that's going to stay on top. So I got a handful of 1995s that came in too. So that was really cool. And as far as I can tell, everything is everything's looking pretty close to BU. I think they are all BU. And uncirculated. And we're going to change this around real quick. I know you guys can't totally see it. I'm going to move the camera down so you can hopefully see this tower. I'm going to hold it. And then we got one of these. Okay. Oh, all right. I'm going to have to do this a different way. Here you go. There you go. There's the order. All right. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So I'm not showing you guys this to brag. I only had one gold eagle to my name, a 10th ounce. And I saw the prices of gold starting to go up, and I wanted to grab some 10th ounces before they get to the point where they get too expensive for me and become unobtainium, right? And so this is one way you can buy them. You can dollar cost average. I'm in sales. I get paid a little bit of money every month, and then I get paid a lump sum once a year. So for me, I always have the opportunity to do some dollar cost averaging, and I have the opportunity to buy in bulk as well. For me, I've been selling my 10th ounce gold coins on eBay, as well as at my coin shows when we're doing Long Beach Coin Show. And I've been selling things that are not the gold eagles. And one of the reasons I've been doing that is I believe there could be a possibility of having gold not be taxed when it's American gold. Depending on who you talk to, maybe even your CPA may say, hey, those are US coins. Talk to your CPA, figure out what you need to do there. The other reason is I wanted to start narrowing down the amount of SKUs I have for my wife in case something happens to me. I want her to be able to say, hey, these are just eagles. I understand what these are. It's easier. So for me, it's a little easier to have that than 30 or 40 different 10th ounce coins. But one of the reasons I have been doing this too is I had a lot of the Spanish gold 10th ounce coins that I've been able to sell for about $380 on eBay to $350 a piece. And I'm able to buy these 10th ounce eagles for less than that. And so it allows me to basically grow my stack over time. Now, why 10th ounces? Why would I even consider doing this? One of the reasons I want to do some 10th ounces is right now, you're going to be paying about $350 for these coins on average, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. These coins are going to keep going up in value just like the 1 ounce coins are. And what happens when we get gold to $5,000, when we get gold to $10,000? Okay. These are going to continue to go up in value, and it allows you to sell them in a more fractional form. So I don't have to sell a full coin at $10,000, $20,000. A few of you had mentioned that there were some issues about selling some of your silverback to your LCS, and they just didn't have the money for it. Well, here's the deal. If you have smaller denominations, it's a lot easier to sell. You're going to have a much easier time selling one of these when the price gets up. Now, I don't recommend buying all your gold like this. I would say, in my opinion, I kind of look at this as a maximum of maybe 5 ounces, maybe 10 ounces. If you have a lot of gold that's going on, that you can do fractional, and the majority of it being in 1 ounce coins or bars to really reduce the cost. I still like the coin format better. So with that said, this is something that I'm just excited about. I've been wanting to get for a long time. So Andy, thank you. And this is actually pretty awesome because when I ordered backdated coins, and I had no idea exactly how they would come. I didn't know if they'd be coming in just a big tube sealed where I couldn't see them, or if they'd be coming like this, and really what years they would be. Because when you're looking at backdated, it's not easy to just find a whole bunch of backdated coins, especially in any kind of bulk. You kind of just get what you get. This is awesome. These are really cool. I did not expect these. So thank you. All right. So we got another super chat in here, and I think it went by really fast here. We'll just put that up here real quick. PMG Silver Stacks. Was this the last year of the Long Beach Coin Show? Yes, last show. And I'm totally bummed about it because OC Stacker and I, as well as Chef Stacker LA, have the best, most popular booth at the Long Beach Coin Show. And I will fight any other person, any other coin guy there that's at that show and argue that all day long. We consistently have about 20 people around the booth, sometimes up to 30 people around there, maybe even more, constantly looking at what we have as well as buying. And we move quite a bit of money selling, and we move quite a bit of money buying. And it's been a great, fun part of the hobby to do. And it's also started turning into a business. So we're sad that the Long Beach Coin Show's gone. So far, we haven't been invited into any of the other shows. And I think that might be because the other dealers don't want us in there because we move so much in metals. And it's not just bullion that we're moving. We move collectibles as well. So, older coins that are graded. I don't know. So we're still trying to see if we can get into another show, but that's kind of how it's gone. All right, so let's do our first giveaway. You guys, you ready for that? Put an 11 in the chat if you guys are ready for the giveaway. All right. So we're going to do something really cool here for the giveaway real fast. So here's what we're going to do. I just got to pull it up real quick. All righty. I got to find the right giveaway tool, guys. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to we're going to do a couple giveaways here real quick too. So the first one we're going to do, you guys just need to put down exactly what I put in here. All right, this is going to be funny. Okay, so you only need to put this in once, and you can just cut and paste what I put in. You can retype it. Okay, that'll work for the giveaway. And we're going to check this out real quick. Okay, so I think what we ought to do here, I think we will do one of these big guys. This will be kind of fun. All right. So Andy, I don't know if you saw these, but these are magnet stickers or magnets for safes. So it's a big old logo that I got. You should totally do some of these for Miles Franklin for people. But this will go on your safe, and they're pretty cool. So I don't even know how many I have here, but there's just a few of them. So this is going to be the first one we're going to do right here is this giveaway. All right. And it's also going to come with one of these walkers. Okay. So put down there Andy Rocks, guys. All right. We'll give everybody just a minute here to get that in there. And I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see exactly what's happening. Okay. Okay, so you guys should be able to see this. All right, I just got to see how I did it originally. All right, so we're going to start collecting. We've got 36. Okay, so right now we've got, well, my things, we're also streaming this on X right now too. So let me just go into YouTube, see how many we got in here watching. Oh, it won't let me watch my own video. All right, I don't know how many people are in here right now. It shows me 108, but I think that's also with X on here. So we've got somewhere around 100 people in here, and only 38 of you so far have put it in. So I'm going to give you just another minute here to get all that in there, guys. So just copy it the way it is from someone else. I don't think it has to be capitalized. But yeah, I think it just has to be close. It might need to be one word though, but we'll give you guys just a second here. All right, let's see. Good luck, everybody. This is going to be fun. So just so you guys know, there's only a couple people that have one of these right now. So I've got one on my safe. OC Stacker has one. He's been a great help. Yankee Stacking has one. That's it. All right. So there's not very many of these. And they're kind of fun to make. I have actually a surfboard one that's pretty cool too. All right. Let's see if we can get this up to 50. And then we've got 5 more people to go. Let's see if we can get it up to 50, and then we'll spin the... I don't have a wheel to spin, guys. It's the rigged hashtag. I don't know what we want to call it. All right. Yeah. So I would copy it as close to this as you can here. If you did not originally do that, go ahead and put it back in this way. All right. We got 4 more. Let's get 4 more people in here. All right, guys, looking good. Not Silver Dragons. No, Silver Dragons doesn't have one of these yet. Now, if he wants to come on the channel, we'll get him one. I have met him. He came to our booth 2 shows ago at the Long Beach Coin Show. And it was really cool because it took a minute for me to listen and hear him because he doesn't show his face. And then I started showing him a bunch of pours I had there, and he thought that was really cool. So we put a video together, which was pretty fun. All right, we are at 48. All right, let's get 2 more, guys. 2 more. 2 more. We're going to spin this thing. So here's the funny thing. I did a bunch of giveaways with gold backs, and I had a lot of people complain. They didn't want gold backs. I think they're pretty cool. I think gold backs are really good to put in a car. You can fit them into your glove box and you can put them in your manual. I think they're great for a backpack. I think they're great to basically hide anywhere you want in plain sight. People don't know what those things are, and they have the values, so they're great for SHTF. But the most impressive thing you can do with gold backs, besides use them for commerce, if you're in a state where they do it, is it's super, super fun to hand them out as tips to people. So oftentimes I'll pull out cash, or I'll pull out some gold backs and say, I can give you a gold back, or I can give you a $5 bill. You know, which one would you rather have? And they look at it and they can't believe their eyes what they see. They get pretty excited about it. All right, let's spin this thing. Okay, we're going to draw this. We're at 52. And let's see who wins. Okay, this is going to be exciting. Mark Rank, congratulations. All right. There's not very many of these out there, I'm telling you. Okay. Yeah, it's a massive magnet. I think it's a 5-inch magnet, and it's fun. So if you get this up on your safe, take a picture, send it to stackingsurfer@gmail.com. Love to see you guys sporting that. So that'll go to you. What I need from you is to send me an email send an email to stackingsurfer.com. In the subject, just put GA winner. Okay. And then I am going to get you, this is a 1936 Joaquin Liberty coin. So let's get rid of that for a minute. And you're going to get this one too right here. So you can see the date at the bottom. It's a little hard to see, but this is a pretty cool coin. And, I picked these up at basically spot price, okay, months ago. You can find great deals at coin shops, guys. You can also find good deals at coin shows, but you may not get the coin in the shape or the condition you want it, but it's still silver, and you can kind of go by weight on it, or, with these, you kind of look to see if the ridges are still there. It's a little bit worn, but it's a great coin, and silver is silver. All right. Let's see if we had anything else in here. Okay, and then this is cool. So Andy's going to take care of you with a silver eagle as well. So we'll get that silver eagle off to you too. That'll come from Andy. All right. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I've worked with Andy in the past. I'm impressed with how good the box. I mean, look at this. This thing was put together super well. I didn't hear a single rattle in there. There was no way for anybody that was holding that box to even know what it was. My wife told me that I got some kind of hardware parts in the mail. She had no idea what it was either. So I'm totally cool with that. I thought it was good. And I know Andy fully insures these things too, which is great. And I know he does it in a way that doesn't make it so obvious to the mail carriers. We've heard a lot of people in the community talking about issues with, their packages not showing up. I haven't had any of those issues. Now, I have had one package show up that was opened, and I don't even remember the coin, but I know it was a more expensive coin that I bought maybe 3 years ago, and it had gone through LA, and it was around the time that they were raiding the trains in LA, maybe 4 years ago, and the coin had been taken out of the package, and I was able to get a full refund from eBay when I did that. So one thing I'll tell you guys, if you're going to be sending anything in the mail like this, coins, or if you're buying something, it's important to make sure that it's insured, and it's important to make sure that that insurance is going to count. Not every company that you try to insure with is going to insure precious metals. So then you want to make sure they don't rattle, and then you also want to make sure that the cases aren't going to crack, things like that. So yeah, you want to double check that. I don't know about that. Oh man. If you, okay, look, honestly, if it looks too much like your comment here, you probably won't get your package. You won't make it, at least not in California. Someone's going to take it. I think they would rather have that than a gold eagle, which is hilarious. Okay, let's see. So they can do this. Okay, that can happen. You can have a package bubble mailer. So when I sell things on eBay, usually what I'm doing with eBay is for example, I bought a coin that is a Queen's Beast completer coin from Great Britain. I bought a couple of those for below the price of a gold eagle several years ago. And when I found out that they were selling for $1,000 premium over the price of a gold eagle on eBay, I thought, it's just gold. Why don't I go sell my 2 coins, make $2,000 and be able to turn around and buy another eagle with it? This is when eagles were around $2,000. And let's see if we can get rubbing 2 coins together to get them to repopulate the planet a little bit here. And so in the process of doing that, I sold those. And so I packaged them super tight like Andy does. And I package them in a way that no one can tell it's gold and silver, and it's a package inside of a package inside of a package. So if someone cuts open the corner of the box here, so if someone were to cut around this corner here and open into this, all they're going to get is this paper. They're not going to see anything in there. They would have to cut all the way into this package here. And then once they cut into this package, they're going to have to go through the walls, the paper, to try to get in here. And you'd have to cut a big enough hole to even tell what's in there. So the odds of someone getting into that is going to be very slim. But if you just send a letter, or you send a small little bubble mailer that just has a coin floating around in there and you can hear it rattling, you're going to run the risk of that not making it. All right, we've had enough of that one. So, all right, there we go. So we got the 110 likes. That's good, guys. When do I go live on Whatnot? I don't know. They keep calling me. So Michael over there at Whatnot keeps asking me when I'm going to do it. Here's the honest truth. I'm loving this. I'm having a lot of fun with it. If I could do this full time, I think I would. I enjoy it a lot. Yeah, I live in Southern California. Things are super expensive, and my day job is still necessary to keep things going. And I just haven't had the time. I'm putting in about 50, 55 hours on my day job. If I can get that to start peeling back, and I travel, so oftentimes I'm gone across the country, and so when I am traveling, I'm just worn out. It's hard to do all these things, but I do want to do some whatnot. I need to make sure I can get to the point where I can ship things out quickly. You have about a 2-day period to ship them out. And so the problem with whatnot is if I have 100 orders to sell, that's a lot of work to do it. To me, I've also got to make sure it's worth the amount of time I put into it, because anything I put into whatnot requires accounting, right? I've got to account for all the coins, what I bought them for, what I'm selling them for, the cost of shipping them out. I've also got to account for all the time that goes to getting a show ready and shipping them out. And it's got to make enough money to offset that time and be worth it, because it is a lot of work. But it's got to make enough of a difference versus making YouTube videos or spending time with my family or doing other things. So my answer is I don't know yet. I'm thinking maybe in May or June if we can pull it off. But I've got to talk to a few other whatnot people that do it in the community to get a better sense of how to stage it, how to make it efficient and all of that. But when we do it, I can tell you I have the best silver Star Wars collection on the planet, at least that I've met so far. It's pretty extensive and huge. And if we can do a May the 4th party and do just a specific Star Wars Silver Day, that would be pretty cool. So stay tuned for that. You can go follow me on Whatnot. I have an account there. It just hasn't done anything yet, but just Stacking Surfer, and you guys will find it there. All right, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, great, great packing. It is, guys. It really was good packing. Yeah, travel can be hard. I have to say. So it can be kind of crazy. All right, Spectacular's doing it. I'll have to see. I don't think he has any clue who I am, and I don't have his contact information. So if any of you guys have that, you can share it. All right. We've got something else in here too, but I don't know. I'm a little bit worn out. I don't know what we should do with this other thing here. Okay. This one's a little heavier. You guys let me know. Put a 4 in the comments if you want me to open this next one. Put a 5 if you want me to wait. That's the next one. All right. We can do that on another show next week if you guys want to do that, or we can try to do it today. So 4 is open it now. 5 is wait. So we'll see what you guys come up with here. All right. So here's the other thing I want to throw out to you guys too that I think is important. Strategy in all of this stuff. Please keep in mind everything runs in cycles. Okay. There's going to be times where you want to move from one product to the next. There's going to be times where you may go from gold to silver or silver to gold. There's going to be times where you may take a higher percentage of your net worth and your investable income and move it into precious metals. And there's other times where you may move more of that into stocks or cryptos, for example. There's also going to be times where you have to make decisions on, do you pay your house off and pay off, cars? If you have a bunch of credit card debt and you're buying a bunch of silver all the time and you're paying 30% for your credit card balance and you're buying silver and gold, don't do that. Okay. Pay your credit card debt off. If you're in a situation where you feel like things are going to go up and you can leverage a little bit, be careful. Okay. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. I'm not going to tell you to do it, but be careful. Know what you're doing. People can get themselves into trouble. I've heard of a lot of people in the community that end up having to sell their silver just so that they can, fix a refrigerator. In my opinion, you're doing this whole thing wrong if you're doing that. So I do want to share a couple things with you guys next here, and real quick. And the reason I want to share this with you is I think it's important to have priorities, and I think it's also very important to follow a certain format. Okay. So I want to share that with you guys, but let me go back here and see what you guys said. Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I want to really open this right now. So break my back. All right. So let's see. I need mods to go in there and count the 4s and 5s. I need to see which one's going to win here. So for everybody real quick, for Joseph, put a prayer in him. He's going to the hospital on the 26th of March. And so, yes, we'll do that, Joseph. So send me an email too. Remind me. That would be helpful. All right. I see a lot of 4s in here. You guys are stinkers, especially OC Stacker. He didn't even come over to help today. Okay, I see a lot of 4s. I don't know that you guys need to count those up. I think, and then Richard's cheating. He's trying to like tip the scales here. All right, this guy Dennis too. I don't know what he's trying to do to me. All right, so let's see. We got Chich Stackers in here too. Okay, by the way, when you're on like not on YouTube, instead of seeing the shark symbol, it says this, which is kind of funny on StreamYard. All right, let's see. Man, you guys are really wanting me to open this thing. Okay. All right. Okay, we can do that real quick. So as I'm opening this, we're going to talk. So I wanted to give you guys, I had every once in a while, I'll answer some crazy long question someone has, and I probably should just put it in a video. But I wanted to share with you guys kind of what I like to do. So sometimes this will change for me based on periods of my life where I can't completely do it. But this is the model thing that I try to do, and I try to be in a state of it as much as possible. So first off, I look at interest rate things that are going on, right? So if you guys happen to have like a home mortgage that's at like, say, below 3%, that's a great thing to have. You've got a low rate on your home, and you're not paying too much in interest. Now, keep in mind, with 30-year mortgages, they are amortized, which means you're going to pay most of the interest or majority of the interest up in the first 10 years of the loan, and a very high percentage of that the first 7 years. Coming from a banking background and having sold mortgages for years and opened states with this, what you're going to find is those mortgages are set up to help the bank make as much money as it can in the first 7 years. And that's because on average, people move every 7 years or they refinance. So, look at your loan. If you are close to 7 years, you just need to kind of think through the process of refinancing, whether it's worth it or not. Okay. Right now, it's not worth it if you have that rate. Now, if you have a rate that's 6 or 7% and the Fed ends up lowering rates significantly, and then all of a sudden the 10-year Treasury follows it, and so you start to see rates down at the 3% again, it's probably going to be worth your time to go refinance it. But it depends. You need to look at the cost analysis. Having a mortgage, I think, is fine. Having some car loans is fine. But consumer credit card debt, get rid of that stuff. It's too expensive. You really don't want it. You don't need it. Once you've been able to get past that, I like to have $1,000 savings. Okay, it's a little bit of Dave Ramsey stuff. A lot of what he says, I think, is crap. But he does have a good plan for people getting out of debt. Outside of that, most of the rest of his stuff is really just based on people not being very mature and not really understanding or not having financial maturity. Once you get out of that, I like to get to 1 month of savings in cash, 2 months of savings in cash, then 3 months of savings in cash. And around that same time, I start buying extra food at the store to build up a little bit of food storage. And then I start getting long-term food storage that can last 3 years. And as I'm doing that, I'm starting to buy things like, a 10th ounce gold eagle. And then I start buying things like constitutional silver, right? And then what I like to do is I like to get to the point where I've got 6 months of food storage. I've got $100 of constitutional per person. And then I like to have 1 ounce of gold for every $50,000 in net worth I have. And then I just continue to build that up. And the goal I'm trying to get to is to have a year's supply of food, a couple months worth of water if I can. And then I don't have to worry about that stuff. It lasts 30 years. You just put it away, forget about it. And then I like to get a couple $100 of constitutional silver per person in my house, put it in a safe, forget about it. And then as far as the gold goes, I keep adding that. Now, what do I do with silver? Silver is a way for me to continue to add to my stack in a way that is going to really help. Okay, this one's heavy, guys. So I'm going to start cutting this thing up. And by the way, it is packed just as well as the other one. And I think my mailman thinks that I really, really like iron casting. So my mailman happens to have run a team of 2,000 people at one of the big media conglomerates in LA. And is a pretty wealthy guy, multimillionaire. Is my mailman's multimillionaire. How many of your mailmen are multimillionaires? Owns like 3 houses, and he's just bored. So his kids told him to go back to work. And whenever I catch him outside, we have a conversation for 30 minutes about finances and about investing and about things like this. And one of the first packages I had, he brought to the door and he said, "What kind of coin did you get?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, how does he know I had silver delivered?" And because he buys this stuff, he knows what the stuff is. And that kind of freaked me out a little bit. But, now he thinks I'm into iron casting. So I don't know. Maybe he's not buying it. Okay, so this is also very well packaged. Right there. Now this one, if you're going to open this one up, it's a little harder to go box within a box within a box. All right. I don't know how to get this one out. I guess we're going to have to flip it. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, all right. I don't think there's any label on the outside of this one. Oh, it's over on this side. Okay. All right. So it is sealed. I'm going to be careful with it because one of the seals look like they kind of came undone on me here. That can happen. And the other one's still on here, so we're going to keep that. So I got to maneuver this just right, guys. And there you go. Can you see it? All right. So that thing is heavy. So we will heat this thing up and get it back on. It's still sealed. It's never been opened. It's a monster box of Eagles, 2024. Now, you got to find the right price on these. You've got to find the right timing to buy this to take advantage of things, okay? You've also got to make sure that you're buying at a good price and you've got rhyme or reason to it. So, so when I look at why would I buy Silver Eagles versus just rounds, they are much more recognizable coins than like a Buffalo round is. There's a couple schools of thought out there. Some people believe that they'll be using this at some point just to, by weight. You're going to have all these scales and you're going to be pulling out flour and you're going to be weighing stuff. That might happen, but I don't think there's enough scales around. Now you can build a scale system and try to make it work, but I really don't see that as being the main driver for it. If you're going to be using Eagles as trade or as money or coins, for example, I think people are going to levitate to the better looking coins, the ones that say the United States on them, the ones that have a denomination on them. It's much easier to recognize, and it's also going to be something that is going to carry a little bit of a premium. Just like today, you see people have preferences on Libertads, for example, they'll pay more for them. I don't think that's going to change. I think you're going to continue to have Libertads have a premium for a lot of people. And when I look at that for Eagles, if I can find Eagles at a good price, that's when I go to pick those up. And so this is something I've been saving up for a very long time. And I've been selling a bunch of other silver coins. And I've been able to sell on my average silver coins. I think I've been selling those at close to about $42 per ounce. And I'm able to take that money and start moving it into things like Eagles. And so for me, if I have enough to go in for a bulk like this, I'll make a bulk purchase. And this is something that can stay in the safe for a long time, but it's also something that I can go put into my vaulting facility. It's easy to keep it in there. And it's also something that I can very easily sell if I need to, right, in its current form. So this is where you can start to kind of get into that investing part of things where you buy it when silver is sitting at, $31, $32 an ounce, And once silver hits up into say $40, $45 an ounce, you can take this whole thing and trade it, move it into something else. The other thing I've been working on doing too is with the gold to silver ratio being so high, if I can sell gold at a price of $3,500 or so, excuse me, an ounce for some coins that are maybe a little harder to find, and move some of that into silver, that's another option I've been taking too. So it looks like Andy's got to run for us, but Andy, thank you for stopping by. It's good to have you. And yeah, I know it's pretty late for most of you guys, and I was hoping to get this started a little bit earlier. So I will reach out to you, and we'll keep chatting. Hopefully Tuesday will work out. I'll let you know though for sure as we get closer. So let's see what else you guys have in here. Okay. Yeah, there you go. New York City, the mailman. So El, welcome to the show. You've been in here for a while. I just hadn't recognized seen your posts in between. Asking what did you get when they drop off your packages? Yeah. So here's the thing. You don't have to answer anything. What I like about how Andy does it too is it's very discreet. You just don't have to worry about it. Now, something like a heavy monster box, it maybe gives it away a little bit. But for the most part, most people aren't too worried about it or thinking about it. All right, let me see what else you guys had in the comments here, because I missed a few of them. All right, we can do one more giveaway. You guys want to do another giveaway? Put a, I don't know. Put GAW in there, hashtag GAW if you guys want to do another giveaway. We'll do it like this. So you got to put the hashtag in it. All right, we'll do another giveaway here. I got to reset it. All right, so I'm starting to collect that. We'll share it here again. Okay, there you go. Let's see if we can get this up to 50 real quick too. All right. So I usually don't show my silver and gold stuff very often. Partially security reasons, partially every one of us is going to have a different amount that we can afford to buy. I'm in a position where I don't really have the ability to dollar cost average very often. I end up usually making a couple bulk purchases, and then if I see, a little opportunity here and there, I do that. I also sell on eBay and at coin shows, and we'll probably do some on Whatnot. Maybe we'll do a lot on there. I don't know yet. But when we're doing that, if you can buy in bulk, you can get your costs down, especially if or let's say you believe it's going to go up quite a bit in price. You can save a lot of money by doing that. And then that gives you the ability to either make more money when you go to sell, or it gives you the ability to be able to sell even when the price is coming down a bit. So I think Andy talked about it, not this last show on Tuesday, but a couple shows ago. He talked about how they're able to use futures contracts to basically offset ups and downs in the market, which is pretty cool. All right, Andy takes orders over the phone at Stacking Surfer. So here's what I recommend you guys do. Regardless of whether you're ready to purchase today or not, or if you don't feel like you have a lot of money yet, or maybe you just want to understand the process better, just like I have rolling down here at the bottom, send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. In the subject, put Stacking Surfer, and then you can put what your question is, or you can just put question. You can put what your question is in there. I wouldn't make it too long in the title. In the body of it, you can address it to Andy. You can address it to anybody in the company, if not someone's name specifically, but you could say, hello, right? You can say hi, and you can put your question in there. Let them know Stacking Surfer sent you. That'll give a little small referral fee to the channel to help me take care of everything we're doing and help offset some of the cost of stuff. And just so you guys know, I'm not rolling in it from the channel by any means. I'm basically break even. The money that comes into the channel pretty much gets taken up in cost of giveaways, as well as in, drive time and going to the beach and parking and equipment that I've got to buy because things break. Like my microphone's broke, and that's another $280 to get new microphones for when I'm at the beach, so you guys can hear me. Things like that, and ordering, all this kind of fun stuff. Now, when you get the bigger channels, some of those guys, it works out to the point where they're able to do it as a full-time job, which is pretty cool too. I think we need 2 more. Let's get 2 more in here, guys. 2 more. Hashtag gauze. You only need to put it in once. Let's get 1 more in here. So anyway, with all of that said, I think there's a good opportunity for you to put your phone number when you email Andy. And you can also put in there any specific question you have. So for example, if you want to know the cost of a monster box of silver eagles, or you want a monster box of buffaloes, you can do that. You have the ability to order a tube at a time. You could order a couple coins at a time. If you're only ordering 1 coin, I would ask them what the price is on that. It may not make sense to do that. If you're just ordering 1 coin, sometimes that might just be easier for eBay, but you can ask them questions. The other thing is you can give them some specifics around what you're looking for or what you're trying to accomplish. So you may say, hey, I've got $1,000. I'm trying to figure out the best bang for my buck. What specials do you have? The other one that I need to talk to them about that I haven't had time yet is there's the opportunity right now, if they still have it going. They may have run through the special already, but they were doing a swap of American Gold Eagles for a St. Gaudens or a Liberty Double Eagle that was graded, and I think they were graded MS62 63s. If you can swap those coins, I would do that all day long personally. I'm not a big fan of bullion in general. To me, it's just generic. It doesn't have any extra value outside of just the metal itself per se. Some of them will, you can more easily sell a buffalo or an eagle. There's a difference between 22 and 24 karat gold, but it's a dime a dozen, and they just keep making the same thing. Pre-33 gold, they don't make it anymore. So you get a little bit of history, and there's some cool stuff there. So what I would definitely do is ask them your questions and get the conversation started. They'll call you back. So if Andy has the time, he'll do it. If you're wanting to talk specifically to Andy, you may just have to wait until there's time for him to get back to you. And then he's also got a lot of people in the company that can definitely answer your questions and start that conversation. So for example, I will text message Andy and say, hey, Andy, here's something I'm looking to do. What can we do? So, and then he'll get back to me, or he'll have me talk to one of the reps that he works with in his company, and we'll start the conversation. And then oftentimes it'll come back and we'll finish it up with them. One of the things that I want to see if you guys have interest in, just put yes in if you have interest in this, and then we'll do the drawing in just a second. I'm talking to Andy about putting together some starter packages. So I'm trying to figure out how we best do this, but it might be a combination of silver, gold, or specific kinds of coins that he has. But I'd love to do something for you guys that gives you a great deal on gold and silver. And it comes in 3 easy packages. So it might be like a small, medium, large, and it's a starter package. So it's your first purchase you make with Miles Franklin. Maybe we can even offer something around, this anniversary coming up here on the 24th of March. We have the big party coming up. We may even do something like that where it's a special package and it has a set fee and it comes with a certain amount of coins, and, it's either gold or silver. So I don't know what to offer you guys. I don't know what you'd be interested in, but I'd love to hear from you. Send me an email, stackingsurfer@gmail.com, and let me know. It might be the kind of thing where you've got a gold eagle coming in it, right? So one of these guys, And then you may end up with, with a handful of silver coins. And when you work the price out, you end up getting a better price than if you were to buy them individually. Anyway, we can do that. Elle was asking about shipping. So there are monthly specials that come into play. This is another one of those things that I need to work on with Miles Franklin and make sure I know when the specials are. There's things I can offer to you guys and get it out there. It's just a matter of resources and time. And so we're going almost on 2 hours now with this live stream. And you might say, well, you got 2 hours. You got time to do those other things. Well, that's if you have time during working hours, when I can talk to someone and make sure I get it down. It's getting the system set up. At these time of days, it's easy to just talk and be on a live stream. It's a little harder to work the business hours and go through it all. But I would, look at that. It might be we do a Libertad special or a Maple Leaf coin special, right? But it also comes down to what Andy has from his collection and what's coming in. So, for example, asking for 5 10th ounce gold eagles, to ask it in this form, I wouldn't know that he even has that necessarily, but here they are, right? So this is something that was probably sold back to them in mint condition. And here's 5 backdated coins. That's what we have. That's what we're able to get to you. If I had specifically stated, hey, I need something to be in a sealed tube and all that, you have that. But there's an added cost every time you have something slabbed. Well, not slabbed, but capsulated, right? And when you have things just in a tube, for example, even if you get a Silver Eagle tube or Maple Leaf tube, you have to then go spend another $1 or more per capsule to include them. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and spin this guy. Draw. Who is going to get this? CT. I don't know you, CT. So hopefully you're in here still. But go ahead and send an email, stackingsurfer@gmail.com. Just put in the subject, GA winner. And what do we got here for you? Let me see if I can find one of these in a little better shape. We'll do this one for you. So I'll see if I can find a sticker to send with you too, or send with it too. Let's remove this. Right there, you're going to get this Walker $50. Okay. It's a pretty cool coin. There you go. So these can get kind of hard to find in great shape. And if you do, they get pretty pricey. So there you go. All right, I'm going to throw that over there, and I'll see if I can find you a cool sticker. I just don't have them out in front of me right now. But congratulations. So what we're going to do on the 24th is, right now I've got a format of about 3 hours set aside. I've got a couple guests that are going to come from the community. If any of you have channels and would like to join, so that that goes out to any of you that would like to come up. So like Tuli's in here. And let's see who else we've got in here that has a channel. And even those of you that don't have a channel, like OC Stacker, or if Jake's Custom Parts wants to come up, we're going to be doing that. There's going to be some really cool giveaways. One of them that's going to be really fun is something very custom that I think is really cool. It ended up costing a lot more money than I thought it was going to. But such is how things go sometimes. But let me see if I can get a picture of it for you guys real quick. So it's a small picture, but you can kind of see it right there in the middle. Those are cases that are stainless steel that are custom. And yeah, see, I got to talk to Amazon, guys. I got Amazon business too. They're little cases, square, that hold a Silver Eagle in them. Okay. And so those giveaways are going to have a Silver Eagle in them, and they're really cool custom cases. And if I told you how much the custom case is, you would tell me I was crazy. But it's one of those things that you order custom and the price is down here. And by the time you say yes to the order and you get the final invoice, the price is up here and you're like, oh my gosh. And then they give you a good deal on it, but you still feel like you're kind of overpaying for it. The product's awesome. just getting 5 of them is not very cost effective. It's like trying to order 5 very custom, um, I don't know, pairs of tennis shoes or something like that. But hopefully we'll have a couple other cool people coming on. Depending on how many people I have that want to come up, we may be doing, anywhere from 10 minutes to maybe a half an hour each. But it's going to be fun. We're going to do a lot of giveaways on at that time. There'll be a lot of stickers that'll be fun. There'll be some of these cool cases. We're going to have silver. So these ones are slightly loved, but this is what I happen to have right now. We'll have some other really cool coins too that if I can find the right ones, and I think I've got a couple of them laying around. We may have some coins that are in the $40 to $60 range. That'll be giveaways, and then we'll do some gold. And if we can get ourselves to 1,000 likes on that live stream, I will give away some really cool gold. And then I'll have one of the silver surfboards that my friend Drew Brophy had designed after his surfboard designs. We're going to have that. Now, I don't know if we're going to be doing it from his shop yet, or where we're going to be doing it at. The beach doesn't have good enough reception to do it. Otherwise, we would do it there. But yeah, here's Drew, right, with his coin. You can kind of see it back there. And there you go. So maybe he'll be able to join us too. We've been trying to do this for a couple months, and it's just gotten super crazy to coordinate it. But anyway, that's going to be fun. I'd love to hear from you guys if you have any specific subjects or questions you want answered. I do have a couple videos I want to produce based on some questions people have asked. I kind of hit on it a little bit today, like how do I stack? What do I do? And I stack in multiple different ways. I do have mining stocks. I've got gold and silver coins, rounds, and bars. I also have, some collectible coins. I've got gold backs. I've got art pours, a little bit of jewelry, and my philosophy changes from time to time on it. I also have a hat. This is the only hat we got so far. And then I also have other stocks, and I have cryptos. And when I buy cryptos, I don't just buy junky cryptos, and I don't buy things that I think are just going to go to the moon and I'm buying them to get rich. I really don't do any investing to get rich. The way that I work to get rich is by starting a company, providing value, and then selling the company. So I've done that with Amazon. I've done that with software. And when you do that, you can make a lot more money. And then you take those investments and you put them into a place where you can earn a good return and really have the ability to continue to increase your wealth. Anytime you make a crazy amount of money without a lot of effort, you tend to lose it very quickly. And I'm one that doesn't want to gamble. And I do have a couple friends that are stackers that'll say any kind of crypto is gambling. But I don't totally believe that. I do believe there are cryptos that are like buying a Tesla stock or a Microsoft stock. And I think there's cryptos that are like buying a crazy startup that doesn't have good people running it. And then I think there's cryptos that are just like, going to the casino. So, be careful with what you're doing out there, guys. Make sure you understand your investments. Make sure you understand what kind of rate of return can come into it. And if you're buying things to try to get a massive rate of return, okay, so something that's going above, let's say 20% of a rate of return, that's not going to require a lot of effort from you, really research it out, okay? If you're thinking you're going to get a 10, 20, 50, 100x return on a crypto for putting money into it, know that you have a very, very high probability of losing all of that, okay? So I only put money into crypto I can lose. Gold and silver is my money, as well as cash in the bank. However, that's currency and is subject to risk. And then I like real estate. That's the other thing I try to do. Or you could be like Jake. And it's okay, guys. It's okay to do a little bit of that stuff. You just want to be very careful with it. I've had the privilege of growing up in some nice neighborhoods, and I knew some of my neighbors that would make millions of dollars, and then a couple years later they would lose everything. Their cars got repossessed and they had to move out of their house and move into like a condo. And I'm like, what is going on over here? Just be careful. Some people know how to make a lot of money. They don't know how to hold it. Other people are too cautious and they never make the money and they're too worried about losing it. So don't have fear over any of this stuff. At the end of the day, it's all here to help you provide for your family, to help other people, to make a difference in the world. I can't take any of this stuff with me when I die. None of it's going with me. It's going to stay with the family. If your kids and family don't have an appreciation for any of this stuff, what you're going to run into is when you pass, they're just going to take this to a pawn shop, or maybe if you're lucky, they'll go to a coin store, and they're not going to get a great value for it because the person's going to realize they have no knowledge. And if you can help your kids understand the knowledge a little bit in what these things are worth, you've got a much better ability to help them. Okay. So I think I'm going to pass out. So we're going to call it a day here, but I want to thank everybody for stopping by. And until next time, peace out.